In the heart of East Africa lies Burundi, a nation where the resilience of its people shines amidst profound economic challenges. I remember the first time I set foot in this battered yet beautiful land. In Burundi, approximately 80% of people struggle under the weight of economic hardship, living a daily reality that few can imagine. The challenge begins with a single day, a mix of heavy rain and relentless heat, a period when the relentless cycle of poverty meets the vow to persevere. With every step, the people of Burundi narrate their own stories of loss, resilience, and hope. Walking along dusty roads, one cannot help but notice the contrast between dilapidated infrastructure and the vibrancy of human spirit. As the sun peaks over the horizon, its rays illuminate a fragile landscape marred by poverty. Agriculture, the primary lifeline for over 85% of the population, is both a blessing and a curse. Fertile lands with untapped potential lie beneath sprawling skies, yet poor farming practices and the ravages of climate-related shocks reduce harvests to meager offerings. I can't forget the things I saw. Streets lined with hope and despair, small smiles amid hardships, and eyes that told stories of dreams deferred but not destroyed. The struggle to sustain life through soil and sweat becomes a daily battle, a conflict between nature's challenges and a collective will to live on. I recall talking with farmers who, despite knowing the risks of another failed season, continue to tend their fields with quiet determination. There is a raw beauty in their struggle, a determination to push forward even when every day brings a new challenge. Yet amidst the shadows cast by economic misfortune, initiatives to restore hope spark like a gentle flame. One such beacon is Greening Burundi. Born out of a desire to combat deforestation and nurture life, this initiative has planted over 2.5 million trees, instilling within communities not only a renewable sense of purpose, but also a promise of environmental revival. These trees are more than just symbols of nature's resilience. They are living monuments to the will of a people determined to reclaim their land from despair. In every young sapling, there is a whisper of a future reimagined. In rural communities, organizations like Twitazimbre work tirelessly to bridge the gap between hardship and opportunity. Supporting low-income farmers by introducing improved agricultural practices and facilitating access to microcredit, these programs instill a sense of empowerment. Every success story, no matter how small, adds to the mosaic of hope. The government of Burundi, aware of the gravity of the situation, has embarked on a mission to alter the course of its socio-economic future. Ambitious goals have been set, plans to reduce the poverty rate to 33% by 2025, and strategies to enhance GDP per capita stand as testaments to the country's resolve to forge a new path forward. Each government plan, though often met with skepticism, is infused with the aspirations of millions yearning for a fairer life, a life less defined by austerity and more by opportunity. Yet, as we pull back the layers of Burundi's complex reality, there emerges a recurring theme: the constant tension between unyielding hardship and an unbreakable spirit. The country's story is not simply one of economic despair, but one enriched by intimate, lived experiences. It is the narrative of a nation where every impoverished landscape is counterbalanced by a deep-seated commitment to persevere, where each struggle is intertwined with a resilient hope. In the quiet fulfillment of daily demands, there is a lesson on the human condition, the capacity to endure, adapt, and ultimately overcome. I recall the faces of those I met, children whose eyes shone with curiosity despite the burden of scarcity, elders whose stories beat with the rhythms of survival, and women who balanced their roles as caregivers with the strength to lead. Their voices, soft yet resolute, wove together a tapestry of memory and hope. Together, they embodied the duality that defines Burundi, the stark reality of life's burdens and the luminous potential for change. Each narrative, recounted with heartfelt sincerity, deepens the fabric of a collective memory painted with both sorrow and joy. This journey takes us through more than just statistics and hard facts. It is an immersion into real human lives and tangible emotions. Imagine standing in a small village where the simplicity of existence is starkly contrasted with the complexity of survival. Here, every smile is earned through struggle, and every tear is a reservoir of past hardships. The struggle against poverty is immediate and palpable. This single heartfelt sentiment resonates far beyond the confines of her small dwelling. In each home, in each heart, the desire for change pulses strongly. Her words echo in the wind, a testament to the unyielding strength found even in the bleakest conditions. Between the hardships and the hopes, there lies an immutable truth. Resilience is born from the heart of adversity. As we continue to explore Burundi, the power of community becomes ever more evident. Neighbors lean on one another, stitching together solutions from frayed threads of limited resources. In bustling markets, the energy is infectious. Where opportunities seem scarce, ingenuity and camaraderie rise like a tide. In every personal recollection, in every whispered memory of a lost dream, there is also the capacity for rebirth. It is in the efforts to reforest a once barren hillside, in the shared tasks of community building, and in the small-scale miracles of improved agricultural yields that Burundi offers us an unfiltered view into the heart of perseverance. Moments that initially seem soaked in sorrow are often transformed into profound celebrations of life and the enduring human spirit. The narrative of Burundi unfolds like an intricately woven tapestry. Each thread, whether dark or light, contributes to a bigger picture, a story of survival, defiance, and ultimately, hope. One cannot help but admire the balance of external assistance with grassroots vigor, a delicate dance between generosity and independence. I remember a quiet evening spent with a group of local artisans who, despite limited resources, dedicated themselves to preserving traditional crafts. In each handcrafted item lay not only a pride in their identity, but also an unspoken pledge to share their story with a broader audience. It is in these small acts that the larger narrative of Burundi comes to life, a narrative of reinventing possibilities when every resource seems to run dry. Time passes slowly in Burundi, where the weight of history and the burden of poverty are ever present. Yet so too is the stubborn determination to rise above. This documentary is not merely a recounting of Burundi's hardships. It is an invitation to witness a journey of transformation. It captures the stark reality of poverty, yet it celebrates the stories of perseverance that weave hope into the tapestry of everyday life. The visual imagery of long, winding roads, humble dwellings, and resilient souls confronted with overwhelming odds helps to anchor the narrative in lived experience. These images are a careful mirror of the words spoken, a call to look deeper, to listen closer, and to ultimately understand that hope is often born in the crucible of despair. Today, as we reflect on the journey through Burundi, we recognize that every moment of suffering is counterbalanced by a surge of determination. The hardships here are undeniable, yet they are but one side of a coin that also reveals hope, unity, and unyielding human resilience. The collective memory of a nation steeped in struggle becomes a powerful testament to what can be achieved when adversity meets the indomitable spirit of togetherness. The story of Burundi is a reminder that even in the world's poorest corners, there is a light that refuses to be extinguished. It is a saga that inspires us to look beyond numbers and statistics, to see the faces behind the figures, and to appreciate the strength that emerges when communities come together. Here, every day is a battle, and every victory, however small, is a step towards a brighter, more compassionate future. Remember the farmers, the artisans, and the teachers who, despite the harsh conditions, continue to nourish the seeds of hope. Their stories remind us that even in the face of economic hardship, the human spirit can soar. In each recollection and every shared smile, there lies a message of empathy, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of a better tomorrow. Join us in exploring the stories of perseverance and hope that define Burundi's journey toward a brighter future. As our journey comes to a close, I invite you to carry the lessons of Burundi with you,